Now we are moving to the business level strategy. So let's have some cornerstone and some starting point where to begin with, so that thanks to the business level strategy, we would like to attract some resources, right? So we can say we would like to attract resources with understanding of these two words. You can see there maybe highly skilled personnel, or very cheap personnel, or maybe the right customer group. So there is a lot of things that you can see behind the resources, and if you would like to know more, you should see one of the my previous videos. So in order to have an appropriate business level strategy that will allow us to attract resources, we need to do two things, or we need to focus on the following. The one is going to be that we need to select the domain. So select domain. Maybe it can be that we will select our domain so that we are going to sell sparkling water. There is our domain, and maybe we can try to enlarge it so we will sell also the still water. But we need to select our domain. The second point, which is important here, is going to be that we need to position ourselves. So position within environment. So environment. And if you remember, there are two kinds of environment, the general and the specific one. So we need to position ourselves in both these environments. And when we did so, then we need to manage this our position. So manage our position. And now, if you remember, the business level strategy is in charge of our lower level managers. So now we are not going to talk about some employees' decisions, or about some really employees management, but about some higher decisions that are done by the managers. And as in case of the functional level strategy, we are again going to have the low cost strategy and the differentiation strategy. So we can begin with the low cost. So low cost, and then we are going to have a differentiation strategy. So differentiation. And we are going to have also one extra one, but I wouldn't like to talk about it because it is really specific and it would need some really deep talks, and it is called the focus strategy. So focus. Here I would just note that in a focus strategy we will specialize in one segment. So we are really specialized in some one segment. And when we did so, when we have specialized, we really need to put all our organization's resources on that segment, so that we are focused, as the strategy is called. But let's now talk about the more important ones, and that's the differentiation and low cost. If you would imagine some sense of structures, or some people are lying about these 2 points, we can really draw it. And now, as we will talk about these two different strategies, we can really add the actual structures about which we have talked in the previous videos. So let's try to have again some cornerstone from which we are going to begin. So the low cost, when we will imagine the low cost strategy, always imagine something cheaper. So how to achieve that something will be cheaper for our company? And in case of differentiation, just imagine that we would like to create something new or something special. So let's begin with, let's try to find a structure. What kind of structure we should have when we would like to be differentiated? Well, we would need some complex structure. So complex. And then what is the opposite? What is much cheaper than the complex strategy? Well, it is simple structure. So simple. So that maybe we have just some free employees, and then we have some manager, and that those okay, we have two managers, and then we have one owner. This is very simple structure. On the other hand, the complex structure, we can have some product teams, or something that allows us for flexible development. Let's continue. I have already begun with some sketching of a company. What about the decision making? What is going to be cheaper? What kind of decision making? It is going to be the centralized decision making. So centralized. Of course, it is less flexible and it is much slower than the decentralized one, and we can write it here as it is the opposite, so decentralized. But it is important that it is cheaper, right? So just if we want to create something new or special, we will make some decentralized decision making. What about the integration? Well, again, the cheaper will be low integration. So low integration. And in case of a differentiated company or product, we will have some high integration. So high integration. And now, when you see these 3 points, we can try to sum them up. What kind of a structure we will have? In case of low cost, we will have a mechanic structure. So a mechanic structure. That is some sense of concluding of our thoughts about what will be the low-cost strategy. And of course, in case of differentiating, when we want to create some flexible working environment and some special and new products, we will have organic structure. So, organic structure. And now, when you see these 2 points, the organic, when we draw this bipolar line that I always like in case of marketing and organizational theory, we can try to get back to up here. And what is going to be the most simple and the most mechanic structure? It is going to be functional. So functional. And that is the point where most of the companies begin with. That our employees have some functions in the company, so we can operate really cheaply. We are very simple. The decision making is centralized, and the integration is low. Then, if we continue and we are getting a little bit more special and more complex, we maybe can have some product, market, or geographic structures. So product division, or maybe some market division. Again, if we would like to be more complex, we will have, and now you can see we are really crossing the line. So now we really will be able to consider ourselves that our structure is going to be organic and complex. So this is going to be the product team structure. So product team. And of course, the most complex and the one where the decision making is the most decentralized is the metric structure. So metrics structure, where the decision making or the authority accountability is two ways, so that there is some product manager and some functional manager. So again, let's try to conclude what would this kind of company, the low cost company, would look like, or the products, how they would look. Well, they would serve some few customers. So few customers. And why is it so? Well, because we have just few products, because that is much cheaper for us. So we have few products. And on the other hand, when we go to the opposite side, we maybe are going to have some wide range of products. So wide range of products to be able to serve maybe not really wide range of customers or some wide customer group, but to be able to serve wide needs or different needs of customers. So different needs of customers. So this was the business level strategy. The basic point is that we would like to attract some resources. We need to select our domain, then position ourselves in the environment and to manage it. So we have got two kinds of strategies. Of course, there is the focus strategy, but these are the more important ones. Always imagine with the low cost that we need something cheaper, and on the other hand, we need something new and special. Hopefully this was helpful, and see you in next videos.